how I got started. Well, that's a long time ago. I guess I got started in real estate because I love building things. Like probably most people in this room, as a kid, I loved playing with Lego, and somehow that led to a first career in architecture. I think what's so great about real estate is the process of developing a building isn't just a physical process, but it integrates all sorts of things from strategy to marketing to finance to operations and people management. Not only do you get to evaluate the tangible physical product at the end, but you also get a sense of what impact it's made on the community around it. And your work lives on, and hopefully you're happy with it and people around you are too. I think the secret sauce for Bentall and for virtually any firm in real estate is about the people that you recruit, the culture that you build, the manner in which you invest in those people, and the output that the team generates. Performance is so important, but we sometimes forget that performance is an output, not an input. It's about people.
You know, I think if I look at his career, and I've been with him, I guess off and on over not 30 years, but almost 30 years, 25, 28 years, something. What he's done all through his career is promoted the people that he's with. I don't mean just promoting them career-wise, but I mean mentoring people, whether we're at Bentall or elsewhere, bringing them along, and always cared about all the people. So my best example of that is if you remember when Bentall was at 55U, I'd go in with Gary there, and Gary would have the same amount of words for the guy working at the front desk, the security guy sitting at the front desk there, as he would when we got in the elevator and went up with, I forget who he was, but he was the president of an insurance company. So he treated those two guys exactly the same. And if he got on the elevator, and even with that guy, the tenant on the elevator, he'd reach down and pick up the piece of paper and put it in his pocket. So he's a real property manager. At the end of the day, he really is. Very important to understand about him.
You know, honestly, it is hard for me to think of anyone more deserving of this award than Gary. Gary has spent his career giving tremendously to the real estate community, both here in Toronto and more broadly. He was the CEO for over 20 years as he built and led what's now Bentall Green Oak to be a global leader in the real estate investment management space. A highlight of Gary's leadership I'd share is his commitment and drive around sustainability. Under Gary's leadership, BGO became an early leader in ESG, and it's given tremendously not just to the buildings and the investments themselves, but really the communities more broadly. And that's really been a reflection of Gary's leadership. And then the last thing I'd say is that even though Gary is retired from BGO, he has not stopped giving to the real estate community locally. He is now an executive in residence at the Schulich Business School, and he continues to share his passion and his expertise with the next generation.
My first thoughts after hearing I was selected, well, first one was wow, it was a complete surprise. Second one was, I wonder which is more ancient, an icon or a relic. The third thought was, aren't those usually awarded posthumously? No, seriously, in all truth, I was really quite taken by this. There's been a long list of very accomplished people that have been given this award over the 20 years that it's been around, and I was just very, very delighted to be included in that accomplished company.
When I heard Gary had won the NAIOP Icon Award, I was thrilled. Thrilled for Gary. Delighted that our industry takes the time to recognize people that have made incredible contributions and ultimately help develop so many of us in the business. I'm incredibly fortunate to have had the opportunity to work with Gary, and I know so many others that would say the same thing. Thank you, Gary. Congrats, and so deserving. So well done.
Words for the young leaders in the room. Well, I'll speak from the heart. I hope it isn't too grandfatherly. Two things. Firstly, I would say the decisions that you will make as you become more senior, more influential in the industry will shape our communities and world around it for decades. So make good decisions. My generation made some good decisions along the way. We also made some pretty boneheaded decisions, as you're probably well aware. We often thought too narrowly, probably too short term. We sometimes ignored the impacts of our individual decisions on the broader community. And I think we sometimes ignored the inconvenient truth. The really important decisions that you'll have to make are ones that are often inconvenient for you personally to do what you know in your heart is really the right thing to do. But I would just say, make that decision, make good decisions, and you won't regret it. Secondly, enjoy what you do week to week, maybe not every moment, but week to week. And if you don't, do something different. Own that. It's your choice. Find a balance between your professional life and your personal life. It's really important, and I think you need richness in both to be truly happy and truly successful.